So, in today's class, we are, you can see my screen, right? So, in today's class, we will go through IAM module. I told you IAM, right? So, IAM, any service you want to access, just go to the search bar and type whatever you want. But that service name. So, this is IAM. So, I have hit IAM, Identity Access Management. So, Identity Access Management. There are a lot of options here, but for the DevOps purpose, whatever we need, that scope only we are going to study. Okay? So, what are the important things here to study is these four: user groups, users, roles, policies. So, these are four important things which we need to study. So, what is user and what is user group? Okay? Now, say for example, this is your company AWS account. Company AWS account, logged in with root user. Now, there will be a lot of tech staff inside your company. So each person is a user. Okay. So what is the regular standard steps to follow is, say for example, Anand is a employee. He is a programmer. And Nikhil can be a tester. And someone else called Shravan can be a cloud engineer. And someone by name Jyoti can be a database engineer. Again, Kavita can be another programmer. Same with Kiran can be another tester. So like this it will be, correct? And programmers has a different access. Testers will have different access. Cloud engineers will have different access. Database engineers have a different access. Means, for example, database is there. One database is there. Database is a service which will hold your data. So this database, who created it? Someone is going to create and then insert records. That can be update records also or delete records also. All these actions we have to do in database. So this database engineer should have rights to create a database, should have rights to insert data, update data and delete the data. Because database engineer's job is to manage the data. At the same time, when it comes to programmers should not have rights to create a database. Only they can insert a data or they can update the data. That's all. Only two rights they need, not everything. So create and delete, they should not have it. Maybe testers, same. Testers may not have even insert also. Only update will be there. And say cloud engineer is there. This guy don't even have any of these four. He is only having read only. Means he can only see the data. He can't do anything. So the point here is each person will have different sets of permissions. It is not that everyone will have same permission. So database engineers have a full permission, whereas developers have limited permission. Others also have a limited permission. So in such scenarios, and here one more point is there. For example, programmer one Anand is created. Now, second programmer, when you are creating, you need to again set up same permissions which you created to Anand, replicate it to Kavita once. For example, 30 programmers are there in your company. For each programmer, you need to keep on changing. Means keep on doing same work. Whatever you have done here, you need to repeat 30 times. Because all are same, right? There are 30 programmers. So what Anand have, all the other 29 also you have to repeat it again. Okay, you need to repeat it again. But that is not a right solution, right? So instead, what we are going to do is we are going to create a user group. User group called programmer and set these three permissions like insert, update. Two permissions I am going to create for the programmer group. Now, after you create it, so what you are going to do is you just create Anand user and add him to this. That's all. He will get all the same permission. Then again, Kavita, you just create Kavita and add to the programmer. Create some other person, add it. So instead of replicating the same thing 30 times, the purpose of user group is you create a group first and then just add them to that group. That's all. So your job will get simpler. Is it clear? Okay. Now let's see how to create it. There is a user group here. Click user group. I will create a programmer group name, and you can see, I mean, you have an option to add the users and you have some policies on. Policy is the one, policy is something which will be having what permissions you need. Like I said here, right? Create, insert, update, like this. What permissions you need, the description will be there in the policy. Policy will have the permissions. So for example, RDS is a database. Okay. See, database is the RDS. Database full access is there. Okay. Or RDS read only is there. See, for example, I want to give only read only access. So I will only select this. And next thing is I want to give some storage permission. S3 also I will give another read only or full access I will and enough. So I'm going to create a user. I will go back to user groups. There is a programmer group here. And inside the programmer group, currently I did not add any user, right? Then if I see the permission section, I have read only S3. So these two permissions only I have given. So what is the meaning of this is, so in that group, I have created two permissions. Now it's very easy. Now if I have 5 users or 3 users are there, they are all programmers. So what I do now, I will create a user called Nikhil. give him console access. I want to create IAM user. Some password I need to give. See, now it is asking me add user to the group. Means I need to just add him to the programmer. Then next, create. So if I go to Nikhil now, see, he got the two permissions which I have given for the programmers. The third one you will get it because I created a password and you need permission to change the password. That is why that is given by default. And it is clearly mentioned you are a part of this group. Is it clear now? So you can add this. For example, next user is there. Say, so I will show you one more time the option. See here, there are three options. One option is if you know that new person, Madhavi is also programmer. If she is a programmer, add to programmer. Or if she is a DB engineer, add to that group. Add another learner or a test engineer, senior manager, admin. So whatever her role is, you can add to that. Okay. Sometimes there is a scenario where that person cannot be part of any other group. She is a new role. Your company has some new role called business analyst. Business analyst. And you don't have that group at all here. So one way is you can create a business analyst and add. But I don't want to create. I can directly attach a policy directly. Say for example, this policy. I can now any policy. So for example, some pipeline policy I want to attach. Pipeline full access. I have given her pipeline full access. Previous. I will go back and show one more option. And in between there is something called copy permission. What is copy permission is, say for example, Anand was working and Anand worked in your office for 5 years. So you gave a lot of permissions to him, right? Permissions is not a stable one. Like uh, with a new project or with new work, you keep on changing the permissions, add a permission, remove permission. So a lot of changes you would have done in 5 years. But now Anand is leaving your company and Madhavi is joining in the company. So what you have to do is give whatever permissions Anand was having to Madhavi, right? So you can easily do that. Copy permission. So for Madhavi, I'm just going to copy what Anand is. So whatever Anand was having, now Madhavi will get. It is loading. Anand was having these four permissions. So those four automatically she got it. So I go to Madhavi now. And all are direct because she is not part of any group. Now, for example, you want to add her to some group. You can go here and add user to. So now what I do, I will add her to the AWS learner. See. Now if I see the permission, she got some permissions directly. And as a part of AWS learner, she got it. Okay. Okay. Is అర్థమైందా?
Yes.
Okay, you got this point, right? Any doubt, please ask me. I will just pause a while.
Yeah.
See, it's not necessary that you have to remember all these things, because I mean, if you join a company, it's not, there is no rule that, or there is no guarantee that you will land into a job where you need to set the permission. But I have to tell these things. Sometimes you may become that resource who will set the permission. In that case, you need these. Otherwise, at least you should know what is policy, what is role, what is user, what is user group. Okay. Now we covered user group and user, but in users there is something else to this. Okay. So permissions we have given, we know how to create groups, and the end one is the security credential. This is the place where you can set the IAM user login. See, when I connected, it asked me two options: root user and IAM user. Now I can copy this URL and see what happens if I. Now it is asking me to give username and the password. So what is username and name? It is asking me for password reset. This is simple. This is how you need to learn. This is just first time you are connecting. So it's, and if you observe here, when I logged in as a root user, see the difference. When I connect as a root user, it displays my name, my email ID and my name. Whereas when I connect as a IAM user, it will show that name at the rate of account ID. My account ID is actually this 34426,000. That is the difference. So here I logged in as an admin root user, whereas here I logged in as a IAM user. IAM user have limited permission, right? Because just now I added only 4 policies. So only those policies are there. That is the reason when I connected via here, via root user, I was able to see everything. The cost and usage I was able to see. Here I can't see because this user does not have the permissions to see the bill. Now you are understanding, an administrator can see anything. But this guy is an employee, right? Sometimes I don't want to show everything to him. So I remove that. Now you see here, I can see everything as an administrator, but as a person, Madhavi, I was able to hide everything. This is what we need, right? Sometimes we don't want everything to be displayed to everyone, because this person is a junior level employee. I don't want, why should he know about my billing? It's a sensitive data, right? So I don't want to show you. So suppose in future I want to give him these rights, then I need to change again. Go to IAM user, go to that user. Madhavi is there. I can attach more policies. Add permissions, attach policy directly. So now I can give admin access. So now Madhavi got the administrator access. She is an administrator. Now if I refresh, if I am not wrong, should be able to. Okay, see, still administrator does not have the access, but she will have other options to do anything. Even administrator does not have this access. We need to give other policies. There will be additional policies. Billing read-only access or billing. So these permissions I need to. So how do you know that this you have to give? You can search in AWS documentation. If I type like this in Google, this is a AWS documentation. So if you go to AWS billing, you have that permission. So you need to read and give it. But don't worry, I will explain you what is these things and how to add these things when I teach you policies section. That I will take tomorrow. I think today I will stop with users and user group because it's a bit late today. I was a little bit occupied. Okay. So tomorrow's class I will take extra time and cover roles policies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where can I get today classes?
I think my colleague will send you the recording.
Recording? Okay.
Okay. Okay then. See you.
Yeah.